Hi everyone, it's Liam here from Rating the Races. So we're going to have a look at day 4 of Royal Ascot. Who caught my eye over those races? Starting off with the Albany Stakes, the Group 3 for fillies. Obviously Fairy Godmother would have been a very unlucky loser if she'd got beat, but I actually thought it was a brilliant ride. Now, where it was a brilliant ride was when Ryan looked like he was going to run into the back of Cradle of Love if he'd kept going forward. So once he initially got squeezed up and he pulled Fairy Godmother slightly to the left, and he then thought, look, if I'm going to have an effort, I want to get a clear run at this. I don't want to be running into the back of anything. So he went, I'm going to go for broke and go all the way to the left. And then he came around all of the field and then said, let's go. And it was then a case of, are we good enough to win it? I think he probably thought they were. That's why he was happy to switch all round the outside or round all of the other fillies. But also, I thought it was clever that he decided to do that rather than running into the back of one or, going, I was unlucky and then I was unlucky again and then we finished third. I actually think it turned out to be a really good ride from Ryan. Now, I know he'll get a lot of stick for getting her into trouble in the first place. I don't think that was his fault. But I think he certainly got her out of trouble. Just as much as Fairy Godmother got Ryan Moore out of trouble. In terms of the race, Simmering is going to be a really highly rated maiden, isn't she? We put her in our Nagme after she finished third on debut, travelled like the winner. And she's, if you took Fairy Godmother out, she's come through nicely to win it at the perfect time. Be interesting to see where they go with her, but I don't really have anything from this race. Moving on to the 305, the Commonwealth Cup, won by Ines Sherin. Obviously, we were on elite status and they took elite status out, probably because they knew they were going to win it with Ines Sherin. And yeah, far too good, wasn't he? Far too good for the rest of them. Nothing caught my eye really. Lake Forest was a long way back, but I think the race was just run to suit Lake Forest, who then passed beaten horses rather than being unlucky in the circumstances. Moving on to the Coronation Stakes, so very quickly over that second race. Moving on to the Coronation Stakes, so I actually thought Asheen didn't ride Ramatoy great here. He gave her too much to do. He never got towards the front. It didn't need to be a drastic change from Newmarket when beaten in the when she was beaten in the Guineas. It just needed to be slightly more conservative. So, still same tactics and go, a quarter of a furlong later and she would have won the Guineas. But they tried to change tactics completely. They gave the other two first run and she wasn't good enough. But there was nothing in this race for me going forward. I didn't think there was much of interest here. Moving on to the 425 now, there are two that I really like here. I think both of them were unlucky. I think one of them, clearly, this was just too much too soon. And one of them, I think, is very interestingly handicapped going forward. So the first one that I'm going to talk about is Badge d'Or, who I mentioned in my previous video. I really like Badge d'Or. He was having his first run. No, he wasn't. He was having his second run. 47 days off the track. I think the horse needs further. I think the 1:06 trip is ideal. A 1:04 was too short. Very keen to see this horse step back up in trip to a 1:06. And if you watch the run through, right out the back, quietly past those that he did passing, but was too far back. And I don't really feel this was a race for those right out the back. I think he wanted to be relatively prominent or mid-division, whereas I think Badge d'Or was out the back and wants further, and therefore things just happened too quick for him. Where would I like to see him next? I would like to see Badge d'Or go to Newmarket for this Bet365 trophy. If we have a look at Badge d'Or's form, here we go. Won last time out on May the 5th at Newmarket. Granted, this is the July course, so if we go back through Badge d'Or's form, where is it? Newmarket on the July course has a win. I think there was another one and another win on the July course at Newmarket. So clearly likes the July course. Winning that would then guarantee you a position in the Ebor as well, because you'd go up high enough. So I really like the Bet365 trophy for that horse at Newmarket on the 12th of July. The second horse from that race that really caught my eye was Ziggy, who clearly needs further. This is not far enough at all. And yet, the horse has yet to really... I don't think the horse has stepped up to a mile and 6. A mile and 5 once, but that was on heavy going. Soft heavy going. It was in the Melrose, struggled after appearing to make ground. But I would completely forgive that effort in the fact that it was, as I said, it was on soft heavy going. On good ground, I think this horse really wants a mile and 6, and he's never got that. You watch his run at Epsom, I think he needed further. He got out sprinted by Relentless Dreamer, or it might be Relentless Voyager, I'm not sure which one it is. Out sprinted at Epsom after travelling really well. Go and watch again here. Travelled really nicely. And then just things happened a bit too quick. And that's kind of why he didn't really shorten in the odds. Only went to a 15 low, in running low of 15, rather than as low as he should have done, based on his how he appeared to be travelling. When they step him up and trip, I am really keen on Ziggy. And where do I want them to throw Ziggy? Well, the race I think is ideal for Ziggy is at Goodwood on the... I'm going to have to load up all of these. I never remember which day it's on. Got to be one of them three. Nope. There it is. The Coral Summer Handicap. Now, I really like Ziggy, and I'm hoping they've been planning this one for the Ebor. Current handicap mark of 95, I believe. Isn't guaranteed to get in the Ebor. But if you win this race at Goodwood, you carry a penalty in the Ebor, and that would guarantee his participation. I'm pretty confident he would get in off 95 with a £4 penalty. Both of those, I think, both want a mile and 6. That's Bajdor and Ziggy, and both could go to... Bajdor could definitely go to a track that he's won twice at, whilst Ziggy could go to Goodwood. If Bajdor didn't go to Goodwood, didn't go to Newmarket, the July course, I do probably think we'll see him at Goodwood, in the fact that he was second once to Trawlerman. Obviously, Trawlerman's since come out and finished second in a Gold Cup after winning an Ebor. So yeah, I really like Bajdor and Ziggy going forward when they step up and trip. Moving on to the 505. Now, I couldn't really find what to do with this horse, but I do like one of these, and that was Arasaig. I thought she was given an interesting ride by Jamie. Probably too confident. And yet, if you watch her last effort when she quickened past those at Lingfield, I wonder whether they're not confident she gets the mile, and they've been trying to hold her up and then quickening past horses. Maybe it's worth dropping her back to 7. Drop her back to 7 and see if they can use her pace. And I think she can run a really big race. Even in a feature handicap like this, over 7, I think Arasay can use her speed rather than the jockey riding with, I'm not sure we're going to get there, or we're going to get home over a mile. So yeah, Arasay is the one from the Sandringham that I do want you to be wary of next time out and keep an eye out for. 540, the King Edward, the 7th stakes, the Group 2. Nah, didn't find anything here. Calandagam was a good winner. Space Legend was just second best. Did not see anything behind that really interested me in this race. So I will move on from this to the 615. And I thought Jamie Spencer got this one wrong. I think it was Jamie Spencer. Let's just have a look. Yes, it is. Jamie Spencer. Go and watch the run of Monasliva. Or Schlieva. It's Irish, I think that's... apologies if I've made an absolute mess of the pronunciation there. Monasliva. Yeah, just ridden so confidently by Jamie Spencer. And then wasn't given the strongest of rides once the chance was gone. Or once the others kind of quickened away in front. I really like Monasliva. I think there is plenty to come from this horse. I think he's been quite highly tried. I think back into handicap company, back at Ascot. I mean, he ran at Royal Ascot on only his second run. He's then only had a few more runs before coming back to Royal Ascot again. What's that? 7 runs now. 2 of those at Royal Ascot. Dropping class very slightly next time out. And I think there's a couple of races that he could go for. He could definitely want to stick to 5 furlong at the moment. I feel there's no need to step up to 6. I don't think that's what's beating Mondeschlever. I think it was the ride last time, to be honest. 5 furlongs for a 3-year-old plus handicap at the Ascot Heritage Handicap on the 13th of July. That definitely interests me. I think the horse will... the older horses will be able to take this horse even further as well. And I think that could be key to this Mondeschlever. Needs to be taken as far can go before then quickening. Similarly, on the 27th of July, there's also another 5 furlong handicap. It's not quite as much prize money. If it doesn't work on the 13th, go back there on the 27th and try and win that one. I think there's a win in this horse for sure. That is Mondeschlever. Now, the second horse in this race that also caught my eye was Tazara for, I can't think of his name, Mr. Furland and Maxine Guillon. Go and watch that run from this filly. Not a lot of effort, to be honest. She's had 1 run at Chelmsford in the UK. And she was beaten by a horse who went on to finish 8th in the Group 1 at Royal Ascot. If Tazara was just on the wrong side, didn't get the clearest of runs, and wasn't given the strongest of rides, with a clear run and in the group, Tazara gets a lot closer. I kind of feel Max and Guillaume went, I've got beat here, I'm not going to try. Be really interesting to see if the prize money tempts them back over for this 5 furlong Ascot Heritage Handicap for a total prize fund of 100 grand. The 60, probably not on the 27th, but if it turns up on the 13th of July, that would be another that definitely catches my eye here. That is Tazara. Go back and watch these races on all of these thoughts. You know who I've suggested now or said is eye-catching. Go and watch it yourself and see what I'm talking about. I really think that's a good idea. But yeah, Mondeschlever and Tazara, keep them both over 5 furlongs. Just need clear runs, and I think they can go much closer next time.